Hello everybody, this is Mehta from Kiltons. Today we're going to be discussing about how to acquire an industrial license in Dubai. Now, if you're someone who is looking into acquiring an industrial license, there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. This is for a manufacturing unit or a factory, right? So, for example, we have professional license or a commercial license. Now, for these licenses, you require an office space or a shop, let's say. Now, for industrial license, what you require is a warehouse or an open land. This is mandatory. Now, before acquiring an open land or a warehouse, there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. For example, each industry requires a different power wattage, right? So before you acquire the land, you need to understand what industry that you're stepping into. And you need to understand what power wattage that is required. When we meet clients who come for this, there are certain common mistakes that we have noticed is that they have already purchased the land or a warehouse and they have already completed the process of acquiring the land and they have given payment. What happens then is that when they come to us and when the power isn't sufficient enough, it becomes a hassle for them to go back and return and purchase and look for another one. This is a hassle that you need to avoid. So now, before you apply for your industrial license, there are certain approvals that you need to receive prior. The first one being Ministry of Economy's Industrial Department's approval. The second one is you need to have the clearance from Dubai's Environmental Department. For this, you have to hire a consultancy that is registered with Dubai's Environmental Department, have them come and thoroughly study your land and give you a consultancy report and submit that to the Dubai's Environmental Department. Thirdly, you need approvals from Dubai Water and Electricity. Lastly, you need to submit your factory's layout to Dubai Municipality's Contracting Department and get an approval for that as well. Now, another important point is that what you need to understand in Dubai, there are certain areas that are designated for certain industries. So when you acquire certain lands, this is something that you need to look into. For example, there are certain area that is designated for storage spaces. So when you purchase a land in this area and you cannot start a different industry there. That is not allowed. That is not permissible by the Dubai department. Something that you need to keep in mind before purchasing a warehouse or an open land is that you need to understand the industry that you're stepping into and find a place that is suitable for it, right? So in Dubai, there are certain areas that is designated for certain industries. So you cannot start something else, and by acquiring a warehouse there, you cannot start something else. So let's say in Dubai, there is an area for storage warehouses. So you cannot purchase a warehouse there and start an industry. Now, another thing that we need to look into is the raw materials that you will be purchasing for your production. So in Dubai, let's say, there are certain areas that they have once again designated for these if you're producing, let's say, gold, right? So nitrogen is a huge raw material that is required for your production. So this nitrogen is something that would cause environmental harm. So there are certain areas that the Dubai government has allowed, let's say, for this production. So you need to check that. Now, this is also for free zone companies as well. So for example, there is gold and diamonds free zone. So in such a place, you can only start production of gold or diamonds. You cannot start something else. So this kind of rounds up all the important key points that you need to keep in mind before you start the whole process. If you have any queries regarding this, you can always drop a comment down below or give us a call in the numbers on the screen. So this is once again Mehtab, and thank you so much for watching.